So anyway, I'll leave you with that, but I hope that you'll join us in Eau Claire, and we'll talk much, much more about AI. So with that, again, on to good things. Yeison Kim has been coming to TBEX for many, many years. I think 2015, he said, was his first TBEX event in Thailand. He's a very funny guy, if you know Yeison and Samantha. Is a very successful guy, one of the most successful travel creators that I have met. If you're ever going to Costa Rica, you want to definitely hook up with Yeison and Samantha. I think he's the largest tour operator in Costa Rica. Anyway, he's very, very successful. Yeah, very, very successful, and all of that is centered around their blog and the content that they create at My 10 Feet. So please welcome my friend, a very nice guy, Yeison Kim.
Woo. Well, hello everyone. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Good. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank again everyone in Greece and the Peloponnese. Stuff. I don't know if that was okay. Thank you very much. You guys have made me feel like home, and I bet every single travel blogger here is already in love of this place. Also, I would like to thank TBEX and all the team, for making this possible. I know that you guys work very hard for this. Thank you. And most important, I would like to thank all the travel creators here. You guys are the most important part of this event. So thank you so much for coming. It's a real honor for me to be here. Thank you. So let me introduce myself. Well, my name is Yeison. As Rick says, I'm from Costa Rica, and I'm a travel blogger. For the last 10 years, over 10 years, along with my wife, Samantha. You want to raise your hand, Beba? We have been running our blog and business. Blogging is a very wide subject, but specifically today, I'm come here to share a little bit about how we approach blogging as business. So most of the things that I'm going to talk today, maybe I'm going to sound too much like money, business, sell, but that is the purpose of my talk, trying to pass you some of the business things that I had to learn. So the way how I prepared this presentation was by using a timeline. So I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to start since the first time that I heard about blogging until probably today. And along the timeline, I'm going to be pointing out all the important decisions that we had to make, things that I wish I knew, and things that we're still doing it. So let's go and start, okay? Okay, so first time we heard about blogging. Well, this is me and Samantha over 10 years ago. I just look a little bit chubbier. I'm using black. They told me I look skinnier, so that was a good thing. Back then, over 10 years ago, Samantha and I, we didn't know nothing about blogging, like zero. We were working at a hotel on the North Pacific part of Costa Rica. And one day, my older brother, he told me like, hey, Yeison, do you want to come and get to know my new neighbors? They're very cool, they're very fun people. So Samantha and I would say, okay, yeah, let's go. I mean, he cooks very well, and he always got good food, so I'm always all for the food. So we went to dinner, and throughout dinner, I met this European family. Actually, they were from Italy. And I heard him talking, and then at one point of the dinner, they started to talk about internet marketing, affiliate links, and they were talking about blogging. So all of a sudden, I jumped into the conversation, and I started to ask, so can you guys tell me what is that? So they started to explain me that they were able to live, in Costa Rica, thanks to two websites. The husband, he was running a website about internet marketing. So pretty much he was selling tools, like blogging, hosting. And the wife, she was selling a nail course. She was very good at painting nails, and that was her passion, making nails. And thanks to that, she was able to pay their kids at school and everything. So just imagine, I just come from a hotel, cleaning all this mess, and I heard this guy just eating a lot of food. Hey, I do this for a living, and that allows me to be here. So for me, it was mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, so you can do that? So the same day that I got home, I started to research about internet. Remember, Beba? First night, I was like, I want to do that. I'm tired to deal with hotel guests. I don't want to wake up more at 2 a.m. So I went over there and we started to research about blogging, what blogging was. And then I found out something called WordPress. Oh my God, what the hell is WordPress? And then I started to figure it out, something called child themes. Oh my God, so you got a WordPress theme that needs to have a baby? So it was so complicated at the beginning. It was very overwhelming. But Samantha and I, one day, we were like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Let's become travel bloggers, because that's what we wanted to do. So the first advice that I got for you today is probably, most of you already have a blog, but the first thing that I learned on my blogging process is to do not get overwhelmed by the process of building your blog. Just focus on one thing at a time, get it done, and move to the next one. And I know that many of you already have a blog, but this goes to any stage of your blogging. Just focus on little successes. If you focus on little successes, events, you're going to have more resources. And by having more resources, you're going to do better the next time. These resources can be knowledge. These resources can be money. These resources can be failure. You have no idea how valuable to fail is. So, this is me. We didn't have a website back then. This is maybe around a week later. This is me pretending to know, what I'm doing. I look the same exactly when Rick calls me every time. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to play the important role, because. So, honestly, this is me trying to figure out blogging. So, one day, I told Samantha, okay, every time that I try to finish or to learn one stuff, a new stuff comes. It never ends. So I just told Samantha, you know what? Let's just launch our blog. And that is the second advice that I have for you today. Getting started is more important than being an expert or succeeding. Why is that? Because if you don't start, you will never become an expert. You will never get experience. So it doesn't matter at what stage of your vlogging you are, just go for it. There is a big chance that you're going to fall, but then you're going to learn that by doing that, you're going to fall. So you're going to do it again. So that being said, we decided to launch our website. And this is the version 1.0. And as you guys can see, I was very bad at it. See, I was not wrong. But pretty much just Samantha's feet over there. And I'm not kidding. If you go to the time way back machine, this is how it looks. But for me, this is so important because from this point on, I was a vlogger. So whenever I was on the street and people were asking me like, hey man, what do you do for a living? I was like, dude, I'm a blogger. I'm a travel blogger. And how do you make money? How does that work? Tell you later, buddy. But I was a blogger. So it's very important to just go for it. It's going to look ugly. You're going to mess it up. But if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to do it. In my case, it's not the most, well, yeah, your feet are beautiful. but no, and the design is not the best, but that is what it is. I'm so proud of this because we made it. We passed from cleaning bathroom hotels, nothing wrong with that, actually, it's very good, to be a vloggers. So, going back to our storyline. So, here, we are talking about 6 months after we launched our blog. Back then, yeah, we changed the main website. We got a little bit more practice and everything. So for the first 6 months of our bloggings, this is what we have done so far. And content plan. Back then, we were publishing around two articles per week. We focused on one town for, very close to where we live, because we didn't have a car. So technically, this is me going with a point-shoot camera to Playas del Coco, which is close where we live. So that's where we started creating our content, from something that we knew, and we knew that any question that people asked us, we were able to answer it. Then we were placing our first affiliate links. Like most of the people here, we started it with basics, like Amazon, the affiliate program. I don't know if you guys remember ClickBank. Yeah, that's how we've been doing on this. So we started just putting the links here and there. Not a big deal, because that was people were doing. We were lucky enough to get 100 readers a day. That was our goal. So it's around 3,000 readers a month. And then the big question, were you guys making any money? Like, were we making money? Everybody answered? No, zero. Like a big zero. Actually, we were about to go back to work, to find regular jobs. And we were about, our bank account was so low that we had to ask even money to Samantha's dad. I remember, for rent. So my point with this is that everyone struggles. And when you struggle, and whenever you need a change, you need to understand what you do and start making changes from the root of what you do. In our case, it was vlogging. And especially for me, the most important change that I have ever done was to start seeing our blog as a regular business. Like any other business, you need to, open the door, and you need to produce in order to maintain it. When I started blogging back then, talking about money, how much money are you making, or how are you going to make money, was not like the main topic. It was just like, you need to produce quality content, which is very, very important. But nobody was like targeting, like, oh, this is how you can do it. Or the people who were saying like, okay, so this is how you can make money, but you need to purchase my course. So it was not like too much information about it. So for all the information that I collect back then, these are the 3 most important things that I learned. And that actually this is the root of our business pretty much. We need to start understanding that our readers purchase services or products to resolve a problem or to fulfill a need or a desire. As bloggers, sometimes it's hard to understand, like, don't push the sell too much because we're going to sound commercial. But I had to understand that sometimes to sell something to somebody was the solution of the problem. That it was pretty much as equal as providing good content. So that was the very, very, very important thing that had to change, from everything that we do. The second thing that I had to learn is that if I'm going to work on vlogging, and if I want to run a business, I need to understand the business. Sometimes we as bloggers, we don't get too much into the business part of our affiliates, of our business partners. For example, if you guys are like a travel adventure blog, and you guys do like adventure tours, it's very, very important to know the market of the product that you are going to promote. Yeah, it sounds kind of like a too business talk, but blogging is business, so you need to know these parts. Like, if you're going to promote, let's say, like adventure tours, you need to know, like, okay, in this area, how many operators do adventure tours? How much do they charge? Why this $100 tour looks like the same as this $50 tour? Why this guy spends the same money? So is this guy like charging, is paying insurance? Is paying all this kind of stuff? So it's very, very important to get to know your travel business. Then, we had to change our content strategy. But we had to change our content strategy for the blog post that we were making to generate us money. And I want to be super clear on this. In a blog, you always have your evergreen content. There is a lot of speakers that are going to talk about evergreen content today, like even a video. So you always need to have your evergreen content. The ultra mega super quality content that is going to help your blog, your readers to earn your trust. That's super, super important. You always have to do that. And then you need to have your blog post, the ones that generates you money. So this is the way how we generate our regular evergreen content, the way how we were doing all our content. We were looking popular content. We're doing the research, and we know what's working, what is not working. Then we were doing the classic keyword research when we get the competition, which keywords are good, which ones are bad, what can we do. Then we would create the content. Then we were looking like, one of the last options were like, okay, how can I monetize this blog post? That was not, like, oh, I'm talking about this location. I mean, is there any company that works on this? And then we used to publish it. That's how we were doing all our blog posts for the first 6 months. Actually, it worked. It's everything. It earned us like 3,000 readers a month, which was a lot. But then we start changing some of our money-making blog posts like this. So the way how we do that is actually backwards. That's the only way how I need to explain it. For example, first, we do the same kind of research. What are we going to talk about? And then our second step is, okay, I want to write about this, but how I'm going to monetize this? How I'm going to make money out of this? It's the same as you're going to open a business, right? I'm going to open a sandwich store. How am I going to make money out of my sandwiches, So you'd look for the monetization way, and then instead of making the regular keyword research, we start answering all the possible questions, or all the questions that people had before making a purchase. So instead of see what people is looking for, is what people are asking for. Why? Because we're going back to the same principle. I'm helping, and this is the core of blogging, help our readers. So I'm helping our readers with a product. And the easiest way to get to that point is by getting to know what people are asking before purchasing. Just imagine yourself, before you purchase, I don't know, the tennis shoes. What are your questions? What people are asking? Then, once we got all these three elements, we start to create our content, our videos, social media, and everything. But everything had a purpose already. And something that we travel bloggers are great at is to write content with a non-commercial tone. So if you get the idea of, okay, if I'm going to sell this, I'm going to help my client, my reader, future client, this is exactly the same. If you put that into your blogging concept, you're helping your readers by selling them a solution. You're going to save them time. We all live in a rush right now. So we want things fast, and if I already read this website that I really trust, the chances for them to purchase something is huge. Okay? So going back to the storyline, I'm going to try to do an example. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper of the normal things that we do. And we're going to call it Lily Beach. Actually, this is my dog, Patacon, one of them, my dogs. So let's say that we are finding a popular place, in this case, Lily Beach. So the first thing that we do in our research program in order to start a business is, what is popular on Lily Beach? How can I monetize that? In this example, we found out the transportation, and this is all supposing, that transportation from the airport to Lily Beach is a very popular product. People really need to have that information. And then by knowing our travel research in the market, we found out that there is a company who is already doing referrals, for transportation. So the next thing that we do is just get into all the forums. We can go into the Lily Beach Facebook page for visitors and start looking how people present their questions to go to Lily Beach. Where is the bus station? How long does it take? Is there a bathroom on the bus from Lily Station? So by having all these elements, we can create our content. And if you put yourself as your reader, by giving them all this information in detail to how to get from from the airport to Lily Beach, you're actually providing very good quality information. And at the same time, you're making a sale. So once you create the content, what we do is we track the sales and we keep updating all the information. I don't know if you guys got me the example, and this could be anything. For example, well, many of us were looking how to get from the Athens to Kalamata, right? On a bus. So just use the same example for that. Can you imagine if you would have found like exactly blog post? Okay, this is how you get from Athens to here. You can purchase your ticket here. We will wait for you right here. Okay, so going back to our storyline. By doing those little changes in our mentality, this is from maybe around 8 months from we started it, we make our first affiliate check. Actually, I'm going to post that check real quick because I feel very proud and happy from this check. This is one was from ClickBank. And then back then, I don't know if there's any very old bloggers here, we used to do something called income reports, and we used to compare with other bloggers. So those were our numbers back then. We were not making that much money, but everything was part of the process. Okay, so now, to keep our storyline, we are around 1 year to 2 years since we started to blog. At this point, we already realized that we how to make sales in order to keep blogging. So we just focus on these three topics. We were adding more products and keeping the balance between sales and regular content. That's how we always keep the evergreen content and the sales. We kept learning how to complement businesses, not to compete. And this is a very important point that sometimes businesses and bloggers, they don't understand too much. Our job as bloggers is to complement the business. It's not to compete. I have had experiences where I go to a travel company or to a tour operator, and when I tell them what I do, their PR department, their marketing department, they feel like a little bit, hey, so you come here to get my job? Yeah, are you gonna here to create the content? So, they've been working for 5 years. Of course, they're gonna give the job to the guys that they trust for 5 years. Not like a travel blogger. So it is very important to learn how to complement business. Just get with that idea. And then, the last one is we always ask our readers what services or products they need. As any business, there's always a boss. We as bloggers, our bosses are our audience, our readers. Just imagine that your boss doesn't need you anymore. You don't provide any service. You don't provide any solution. You don't save time to your boss. Are you going to keep hiring the same people? No, right? It's exactly the same with blogging. And if we keep that mentality into the business aspect, we always have to go ahead. What people are going to need. I need to find solutions. Okay, so we get to the point where we were not able to find those solutions, those answers to our audience. Sometimes you want to sell something, but you cannot find the company, the middleman to do it. So something that I learned and to do not be afraid of was to deal directly with companies. Actually, that's been a huge change for us. So in this case, we have a very successful program with a car rental company in Costa Rica. And thanks to that first business that we did, that allowed us to open many direct relationships with other companies. So if you want to sell something, if you want to help your readers, and you cannot find that specific affiliate program, just go to them. And just approach to them and talk business language, not blogging language. Because whenever, there are most of the companies, they don't understand blogging language. If you tell them, like, hey, you're going to get 1,000 impressions, and they're like, how much is that? They don't understand our language. They understand money language. And if they are going to bet on you, you need to understand them too. I have noticed many times that we as bloggers, sometimes we make the mistake, or maybe we don't know, and we just approach to a company or to a partner, and we tell them like, hey, will you pay me $1,000 to do this? And we don't know how much money they're going to spend on it. So today, most of the business relations that I do is that I go to a business partner and I tell them like, hey, I am not going to make $1 until you make 9. I try to put all these businesses on the spot wherever they can say no. I mean, what is the worst that it can happen? We're going to produce quality content. And if you go, let's say that, just put yourself as a business owner. If you got a blogger that comes to you and tells you, you know what, I'm going to go and do your tours. I'm going to promote you. I'm going to do everything. If one of my readers come, just give me the regular commission and maybe a little bit more. But don't pay me for that. I'm going to take the risk and do it. So you guys will be, it's kind of funny the reaction, how everything changes whenever you are the one who put in, the risk. Companies put the risk on us. Sometimes it's good to put the risk, that we put the risk. So that for me works very well. And I always look for long-term partners. This is an example of that. Back then, I went to every single of these companies, and I pretty much told them what I told you. Hey, I'm a travel blogger. They were like, oh, here's another diva who wants free stuff. That's actually what they told me. Yeah. And then, because Costa Rica is very famous, so you get a lot of peaches and everything. So I remember very clear, like actually with Kalamata, it's a company. I went with the owner, and I told him, hey, I will pay you a service fee. Don't charge me the full thing because I can't afford it. I will record every single of your tours. I will promote it on my blog because I know you are very good at it. And then you will start paying me as soon as you start getting my referrals. And then this guy, he's an asshole. He's not like the nicest guy in the world, And he just came through us and he was like, yes, let's do it. So since that point, I started, I understood that you have to take the risk too. So, from this point, and this is something that we're still doing today, once we learn all that aspects, we start adding regular business strategies to your blogging. The first one is always learn how to identify your readers' needs so you can send them the correct information. We can go way deeper on this. We're going to be here the whole time, so if you guys have any questions, you guys can just come and ask him. But pretty much, there are so many clever ways to send the right information to the clients. Like, for example, whenever we send a newsletter, we just tell people, hey, which places you want to go, and then we know that this specific area is a place for kids. So once you click on it, you already know that there is a parent. So then, by identifying what they want, it's very easy, for you to keep sending information. Like I said, this is a huge thing. And then, later we can go more into this. Then, cross-sell your products. This is something that we do a lot. The possibilities for a reader to buy you something once they bought something already is huge. And sometimes we as bloggers, we just like, yes, I sold this bus ticket. But then we just stop right there. We don't keep going. I mean, if someone already trusts you to buy the bus ticket, I almost guarantee you that they will trust you to, to see which hotel they want to go, to choose which tours you want to go. And then you have to grow your brand. Make content the start, and it's all about the content. I have seen a lot of bloggers that they just go and it's always like me, like me here, or if they want to promote a place, they just put like 80% of the picture is their face, which nothing wrong with that. They're very pretty, nice people. Nothing wrong with that. But, the partner, he needs to see his product. He needs to have answers, for their audience. Okay, so now that I'm finished, and I'm going to do a little recap. This is another two of my dogs. So, first point for today's talk and something that I want you guys to take home. Don't get overwhelmed by processes. It's so normal to get overwhelmed. So it doesn't matter what stage you are. It's going to be hard. If that'll be easy, everyone will do it. Just set your mind for little victories, whatever it is. Samantha, sometimes they see me like doing the dance. Hey, we just made this. And she was like, what happened? Oh, this code worked. Yeah, and it's a good excuse to open a beer, but, but it's good. It's all about finding solutions for your readers and problem needs. If you can put in your heads or in your mindset of the business part of your blogging, that by offering products, you are helping your readers the same way you're helping them with content, and you put the same blogging tone of voice, you guys will succeed because we bloggers are great at it, very good at it. And then, as a final thought for today, this event might change your blogging career. As Rick said, my first TBEX was in 2015. I came with Samantha, we went to Thailand. And every time I come to TBEX, I get recharged. Today I'm here talking to you. I've been lucky. I don't know why even they choose me. I mean, I feel very, 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 very proud at it. But TBEX might change you. Now, it depends on you. I challenge you today just to go to all these sessions. Ask everything. Next to you might be the smartest person that you ever met. So take advantage of this kind of events. Do your best. And thank you so much for being here. And you guys are awesome. Good job. All right.
Yeison Kim and Samantha, the brains of the operation.